Hello, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys, where we teach the little guy and girl how to utilize charts to manage their own trades and investments. What do I mean by the little guy and girl? Well, we just had two directives signed halting the implementation of a rule that requires financial advisors to act in the best interests of their client. Let that sink in a little bit. The big wigs on Wall Street can play with your retirement and hard-earned money without your best interests at heart. We currently have hundreds of members taking charge of their financial future, and we would love for you to come check out a free week with no credit card required to see if our services would be beneficial on your path to financial independence as well. What we offer, we have a separate course of over 5 hours in length on when to enter and exit positions. And in terms of what we do daily, we have nightly videos, key levels updated each morning before the bell, 2.5 hours of live daily webcam coverage in the morning and in the afternoon, and over 7 hours of educational videos. All of these links can be found in the description of this video. Come check us out. Thanks for watching. Let's get on to the technical analysis. Hello everyone, checking in on the semiconductor sector, AMD, NVDA, and MU. So let's start with AMD. We have the bulls showing up on Friday, and admittedly, I was skeptical of this bounce. The 4 days preceding it were not showing strength. We had declining bull volume and we had upper wick showing profit taking, and it looked like the potential to be a bear flag of this big pullback, short-term bounce attempt, and then continuation to the downside would be the bear flag. The bulls showed up on Friday and proved themselves with a strong close up at the high of the day and a close over that middle Bollinger Band and an uptick in bull volume. So that's pretty much everything that the bulls needed to do to prove that they did have strength here after seeing weakness on the initial 4 days of a bounce. And we even had further upside after hours on Friday. We'll have to see what the price opens up at on Monday, but as of right now, it's entirely possible, and if not likely, or I should say most likely, that we will see a potential gap up open over 1393. The next resistance after that is up at 1478, and the bulls are still in control of this overall trend. We'll be keeping an eye out for a potential bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern, but again, at this point, on these bearish reversal head and shoulders pattern, we have our left shoulder, our head, and this would be the right shoulder. I don't pay attention to those head and shoulders patterns significantly until we start consolidating after the right shoulder has begun forming. So if we were to pull back here, I'm looking at the resistance, the high of the left shoulder up at 1427. If we were to pull back around that area in the low $14 range and begin heading back down towards the low $13 range, then I would look at the potential of that pattern, with the neckline being down here at about 1270 or so. So that's not a factor right now, just something that I would keep an eye on going forward if we do begin to see consolidation. But right now, the bulls have some nice momentum to the upside heading into next week. The weekly time frame looks like another bull flag of consolidation, nice and contained and healthy, and we're looking up towards that all-time high of 1555, which did put AMD, I recently switched, I believe 2 weeks ago, putting AMD as the sector leader ahead of NVDA, once NVDA started to see a lot of bear volume at the double top at its all-time high. So AMD, a lot of strength here in the short term. We'll see if the bulls can get some follow-through to start next week. And again, not going to be a red flag for the long-term bulls unless we were to pull back and break this support in the mid-$12 range. NVDA is trying to see a bounce play out, and the bulls have to break 101.30 in order to break the lower high pattern. And I've been saying the past day or two here, I don't like where NVDA is positioned here in terms of being confident in the short-term direction. We've had plenty of nice opportunities in the past few weeks where I have been confident in the short-term direction, but not right now. I'm watching a range of 97.40 and 101.30, and I personally will likely wait for some of those levels to break before I'm liking the direction here in the short term. So a break of 97.40, we're looking down at the lowest price we've seen of 95.17, and a break of 101.30, and we're going to be looking up at 105.20, the other lower high that had formed. So you can see it's getting tighter and tighter in the sense that the bulls are defending $96 and just using that rough psychological level because we have dipped off of it and bounced now a few times. And it looks like a descending triangle pattern where we have lower highs, tightening range before a clear break is coming likely this coming week. So the weekly time frame, the bulls did hold on to this middle Bollinger Band for the third week in a row, 98.24. As long as the bulls can continue to close above this weekly middle Bollinger Band, they will continue to hold that level, which has been over a year now at this point. Losing that level will be a red flag for the bulls in the short term, and we can see that we are seeing that double top, a ton of bear volume, and broke the higher low pattern on the weekly time frame. So we do need to be skeptical of the bulls short term, the sense that after this big pullback, they need to prove to us that they have strength. And all you have to do is look at the volume. High bear volume on the double top rejection, decreasing bull volume on a bounce attempt, high bear volume on another leg to the downside, decreasing bull volume on a bounce attempt, increasing bearish volume on the pullback, and weak bull volume still. We have no convincing bull volume on the daily time frame yet, and it's going to require some convincing bull volume to break that 101.30 resistance. MU is also seeing the potential for some strength here on the daily time frame. We've got a potential bull flag pattern. Ideally, the bulls want to hold 24.81, the low of this week, next week, for that to be the higher low. We did see a nice bull move to start the day on Friday, but we rejected from 25.75, which is a lower high than what we have seen here, the high of 25.92. So a break of 24.81, and we're looking down at the daily middle Bollinger Band as the next level, and a bull break of 25.75, we're looking at 25.92, the highest price we have seen. The weekly time frame still very strong in terms of higher lows and higher highs. One little red week here this past week of consolidation, not seeing much significant downside yet following that, and it's going to be up to the bulls to defend 24.81 support. Keep in mind, the reason that MU is not among the leaders here in the sector is the longer-term weekly pullback with all kinds of price history resistance from now all the way up until the $36 range. So we still have a 50% move to break out to where we are seeing AMD and NVDA enjoy their all-time highs fairly recently. So that is why MU, even though the daily chart is still strong, that's why I'm not putting MU in the same category in terms of lack of weekly resistance that AMD and NVDA are currently enjoying. So I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to be watching very closely NVDA. Like I said, it's been a really nice trader the past month, and we're going to be watching to see which direction this tight range breaks to give us some more confidence in that short-term direction. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.